what's up everybody? This is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I had to do this video because I'm seeing a lot of people saying generational wealth, the next generation will be better. I'll send my kids to college. I'll do these things. And honestly, if people were really, really serious and concentrated, it'd take about 10 years or less. Because if you ever go on Bigger Pockets, if you ever go on a lot of these blogs and different groups, the access to capital changes everything, right? That's why I always talk about the credit repair and people improving their credit if they can. And that's why I'm glad I joined Credit Warriors on Facebook to help others and to see 35,000 people have life changes, right? But you got to have a plan. You got to have a mindset about it, right? You have to think about it. And this is how you think about it. Home ownership, and I don't want to make it a racial thing. I try not to. But home ownership, if you look at Asian Americans, highest in the nation. Then you look at whites, 17 times more than blacks, right? And I'll still meet people who say, well, everybody ain't meant to own a home. True. I meet a lot of veterans who are homeless or vets who have a GI Bill, could own a home. Even in Texas, they have veterans. You can get a land grant. There's all kind of stuff you can get in Texas. Really, really nice. For veterans, and people will still say, well, I can't, I don't know if I want a home. And I go, they're bending over backwards to give you this thing that you can pass to your children, or this thing that, guess what, if you need to move, you can turn around and rent it out and go get you another home. Sometimes some stuff is a no-brainer, right? And I start with the simple. People are like, I want to improve my credit to get a new car. Well, what can we do to improve your credit to go get you a house or a fourplex or a duplex? And it saves you money and you make money towards your future. If you really want to be honest, if you go on Bigger Pockets or you even look at Grant Cardone's story, it's a 10-year journey. It's a 10-year mark from when he's looking at apartments and looking at things for 5 years, then he finally invests. That next 10 years, he's going to be a billionaire at some point. But he was a multi-billionaire. 4,000 units later, killing it, right? One of his deals was 100 units. Even if you took everything, you took all your business lines of credit and you bought a 100 unit, look, if you bought a 15 unit apartment complex and every tenant's paying like almost $1,000, that's a life change. That's a straight up life changing moment for you and your family. Let's say you're still working your job. That's a financial life change. And then if you go buy a second one, like your kids at some point, if they're high schoolers, my dad owns an apartment complex. My dad, if I need to, I can go work for my dad's apartment complex, or I could go work for my dad's real estate office, or I could go do a lot of things. And so when I see people saying, generational wealth and the next generation will do it, it's almost throwing the weight of that work on the next generation instead of saying, hey, you know what, in 5 to 10 years, if I really concentrate, completely different life. I mean, I don't know how many military people I can tell you that I know of that every duty station, they bought a house. So by their 5th and 6th duty station, they've got 5 houses right now. And their life is much different than their other servicemen and women around them. So think bigger, think in 10-year blocks. There's a book called The 10-Year Turnaround. And once I read it, I immediately was like, Erica, you know what you need to do in the next 90 days. You know what you need to do. And you got to take steps to do it. I mean, and you start thinking like 10 years from now I'll be 40 something, right? It immediately changes your grasp of what you're thinking about doing, how you want to talk to people, how you interact with people, how you plan your future. It changes a little bit of everything. So have a long-term plan. And I'm sorry, 80% of multimillionaires have real estate in their portfolio. So if you think you're going to get around not owning some piece of real estate, whether it's paper stocks, land, trees, timber, whatever, that's a big proponent of people getting really wealthy. And having a business is the next way. So, I mean, I love a guy called Malcolm Speaks. He's in insurance. And, I mean, he talks about going to work and his coworker walking by him with a box. Even though he'd been providing years of great service, even in their high-end industry field, people were getting laid off, right? And what does that tell you? You need to have some type of control over your financial situation and your financial future. And if you don't, you could be that guy with the box. And honestly, if you guys go check out Mr. Money Mustache, How to Retire in 7 Years, it's not rocket science, but what happens is a lot of people they keep going. They keep with the Joneses. They get the new cars. They get the new houses. They keep getting new stuff. I really respect and appreciate my friends with these 10-year-old cars. For some reason, I just think about, man, that is so smart. That saves you probably $500 to $1,000 a month in car payments and other things, because it does. And that's how you make your money last. So anyways, just some thoughts on the day. And I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you pick up the book, 10-Year Turnaround. Also pick up the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. And you guys have an amazing Christmas. Later.